You're 22, clutching a fresh college degree, dreaming of a career that lights your soul on fire. But instead of job offers, you get silence. Rejection emails pile up like unpaid bills, each one chipping away at your confidence until you're staring at your laptop, heart pounding, feeling utterly worthless. That was me. Worse, there was someone, a smug, condescending classmate, who rubbed my failures in my face, telling everyone I'd never make it. But here's the kicker. 6 years later, I didn't just land my dream job in graphic design. I walked into a room full of those who doubted me, including her, and showed them exactly what I was made of. Stick around, because this story of resilience and revenge will leave you cheering. Hey everyone, I'm Mia, 30 years old, living in Austin, Texas, where I work as a lead graphic designer for a top creative agency. Today, I'm sharing a deeply personal story from my life, a grueling battle against rejection and disrespect that shaped who I am. If you've ever felt underestimated, overlooked, or desperate for a win, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into a tale of turning pain into power. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this ends. Let's rewind to 2017. I'm 22, standing in my cap and gown at graduation, the Texas sun blazing down, a mix of pride and nerves bubbling in my chest. I'd studied graphic design at a solid state university, pouring my heart into every project. Late nights tweaking color palettes, sketching logos until my fingers cramped, dreaming of working for a creative agency where my art could make a difference. The world felt wide open. I remember the smell of fresh cut grass on campus, the buzz of my classmates' laughter, and my parents' proud smiles as they snapped photos. "You're going to do big things, Mia," my dad said, his voice warm. I believed it. How hard could it be to land a job, right? Oh, how naive I was. The job hunt hit me like a freight train. I sent out resumes, dozens, then hundreds. Each one meticulously tailored, my portfolio polished to perfection. Vibrant branding mock-ups, sleek website designs, even a short animated video I'd slaved over for months. But the responses? Crickets. Or worse, those cold, automated emails, "We regret to inform you." My inbox became a graveyard of rejections. Some said I wasn't qualified, not enough experience. Others, overqualified for entry-level roles. Overqualified? I'd grit my teeth, staring at my laptop screen in my tiny apartment, the hum of the fridge mocking my silence. My savings dwindled. I was surviving on instant ramen and stubborn hope. The emotional toll was brutal. Every rejection felt personal, like a punch to the gut. My chest would tighten, my hands would shake as I refreshed my email, praying for something, anything, to validate me. Nights blurred into tears, my mind spiraling. Am I not good enough? Did I waste 4 years? What's wrong with me? Powerlessness settled in, heavy and suffocating, like a fog I couldn't escape. I'd walk past coffee shops, seeing people my age with laptops and purpose, and feel like a failure. My parents tried to cheer me up, but their encouragement stung. It just reminded me I was letting them down. Enter Claire. Oh, Claire. She was my classmate, the kind of person who always had to be the loudest in the room. Picture her, sharp bob haircut, designer glasses, always tossing out buzzwords like disruptive innovation in critiques. She was talented, sure, but her real skill was self-promotion. Claire had this way of smiling that didn't reach her eyes, like she was sizing you up. Back in school, we weren't close, but we were friendly, or so I thought. She'd compliment my designs with a, "Wow, Mia, that's cute," her tone dripping with condescension. I'd shrug it off, thinking, she's just competitive. But post-graduation, she became my personal antagonist. Claire landed a job right out of college, some flashy startup in Austin. She'd post about it constantly, LinkedIn updates about her game-changing projects, Instagram stories of her sipping lattes in a sleek office. Meanwhile, I was couch surfing and applying to jobs I was overqualified for, like retail or data entry. One day, at a university alumni networking event, I ran into her. The venue was all glass and modern lighting, filled with the clink of wine glasses and fake laughter. I was there, desperate to make connections, my business cards creased from nervous fidgeting. Claire spotted me, sauntered over in her tailored blazer, and said, "Mia." "Still looking?" Her smirk cut like a knife. Before I could respond, she turned to a group of alumni nearby and laughed. "Mia's the poster child for why passion doesn't pay. She's applied to, what, 1,000 jobs? Maybe aim lower, babe." The room spun, my face burned, my throat tightening as people glanced over. Some chuckling. Humiliation washed over me, hot and heavy, like I'd been stripped bare. Inside, my thoughts screamed, "How dare she? She doesn't know my struggle." I mumbled something incoherent and left, my heart pounding, tears stinging my eyes as I walked to my car. That moment, her smug face, the crowd's laughter, seared itself into my brain. I wasn't just fighting a job market anymore, I was fighting her dismissal, her arrogance, the way she made me feel small. "She thinks I'm nothing," I thought, gripping my steering wheel. "I'll show her." Months dragged on, more rejections. I took freelance gigs, small logo designs for local businesses, barely enough to cover rent. Each no fueled my anger, but also my resolve. One night, sitting cross-legged on my floor, surrounded by crumpled rejection letters, I hit my breaking point. The room was dim, lit only by my laptop's glow, the air thick with the scent of stale coffee. My reflection in the screen looked tired, defeated. "Enough," I whispered. "I'm not giving up." That was the turning point. I decided to stop begging for jobs and start building my own path. I threw myself into learning. Online courses in UX design, coding, animation, anything to make my portfolio stand out. I stayed up until 3 a.m., eyes burning, perfecting every pixel. I networked relentlessly, cold emailing creatives, attending every free workshop I could find. Slowly, I built a reputation. A cafe owner loved my branding work and recommended me to a friend. That friend hired me for a website redesign. Word spread. By 26, I was freelancing full-time, my income steady but modest. But I wasn't done. I had bigger dreams and a score to settle. I started a side project, a passion portfolio piece, a mobile app concept for mental health support. I poured everything into it. Sleek UI, empathetic design, features inspired by my own struggles with rejection and self-doubt. I called it Rise. It was my baby, my rebellion against every no. I submitted it to a national design competition, not expecting much. But then, an email. I'd won first place. The prize? $10,000 and a pitch meeting with a major creative agency in Austin. My heart raced as I read it, hands trembling. This is it, I thought. My shot. The agency loved Rise. They offered me a contract to develop it, and a job. Lead graphic designer.
6 figures, full creative control. At 28, I walked into their office, all glass walls and vibrant murals, feeling like I'd finally arrived. The smell of fresh paint, the hum of collaboration, the weight of my new ID badge in my hand, it was surreal. But the real cherry on top, that agency was hosting an industry showcase, and guess who was invited? Claire's startup. She'd be there, presenting alongside me. I planned my moment carefully. No shouting, no drama, just pure, undeniable proof of my worth. I spent weeks perfecting my presentation for Rise, weaving in my story of resilience without naming names. The night of the showcase, my nerves buzzed like live wires, but I stood tall in my navy blazer, my portfolio projected on a massive screen. The room was packed, industry pros, investors, my old classmates. Claire was there, front row, her face a mask of polite interest. I stepped to the podium, my voice steady despite the butterflies in my stomach. This app, Rise, is personal, I began. It's for anyone who's felt knocked down by rejection, told they're not enough, and kept going anyway. I clicked through slides, clean designs, user testimonials, stats on mental health. The audience leaned in, nodding, some jotting notes. I could feel Claire's eyes on me, her smile faltering. Then came the kicker. I shared my journey, subtly but pointedly. After graduation, I faced hundreds of rejections. Some said I'd never make it, that I should aim lower. But those voices, they fueled me. I locked eyes with Claire for a split second. Her face flushed, her hands fidgeting in her lap. The room erupted in applause when I finished. Investors swarmed me afterward, offering cards, praising my grit and vision. Claire's startup pitched next, a generic branding campaign, forgettable at best. She stumbled through it, her usual confidence shaken. I overheard an investor mutter, "Not as compelling as Mia's." Later, she approached me, her voice tight. "Nice work, Mia. Didn't know you had this in you." I smiled, cool and calm. "Funny how people underestimate you when they don't really know you, huh?" Her jaw tightened, but she had no comeback. She walked away, her shoulders slumped, the weight of her own words from years ago crushing her. That night, I stood outside the venue, the Austin skyline glittering, a cool breeze brushing my skin. Relief flooded me, not just from the job, the win, but from proving her wrong. I wasn't worthless. I was unstoppable. Claire's humiliation wasn't loud, but it was real. Her startup lost funding months later, while Rise got acquired by the agency for a hefty sum. My triumph wasn't just personal, it was public, undeniable, and oh so satisfying. The powerlessness I'd felt for years? Gone. In its place was validation, a fire in my chest that screamed, I did it. Looking back, those rejections were a crucible. They burned away my doubt, forged resilience I didn't know I had. Claire's cruelty? It was a spark, but I was the flame. This journey taught me that the world may say, no, but you get to decide your worth. Karma doesn't always need a push, but when you rise above, it feels like justice. What's your story of proving them wrong? I'd love to hear it. Wow, that felt good to share. If this story lit a fire in you or made you fist pump for justice, smash that like button. Let's hit 15,000 likes. Drop a comment. What's the biggest "I showed them" moment in your life? Did you overcome rejection or shut down a doubter? I read every comment, so spill the tea. And if you love stories of resilience and sweet payback, subscribe and tap that bell. New videos drop every Thursday. Thanks for watching, you amazing humans. See you next time.